There is a version of your life that you think about when no one is watching. Not the one you're living, but the one that feels almost embarrassingly large. The one you stop telling people about. Because the gap between where you are and where that vision lives became too uncomfortable to explain. It's been whispering to you for years. A transmission your soul has been trying to send. And today, April 6th, the universe has built a doorway that can no longer be ignored. Most people will scroll, work, distract themselves, maintain routines, completely unaware that a signal they've been waiting years to receive is live right now. But you felt it, that tug, that subtle pull that made your chest tighten, that sudden clarity that comes without reason. You are here because something inside you recognized the call. Joseph Campbell called it the refusal of the call. The moment a hero hesitates because they are not yet ready. But today, the cosmos removes the option to ignore it. The Sagittarius Moon reaches its peak. The Sun begins its square to Pluto in Aquarius, and ancient fire traditions call this a clarifying burn. It is not destruction, it is the removal of everything that has insulated you from your own signal. Every shield, every comforting illusion, every excuse that has kept the mission dormant. What you feel is the ignition of a divine download your soul's plan, finally aligning with the precise astrological conditions to break through. In the minutes ahead, you'll learn the 6 signals your soul is sending, the hidden challenge Pluto is placing in your path, and the exact steps to receive your mission fully. Most will miss it. You won't. Comment mission below if you've always known your life was meant for something larger. Subscribe because by the end of this video, you'll know with clarity what your soul has been waiting to name, and it will change everything. The universe is precise. It doesn't send signals randomly. It aligns planets, degrees, and moments with surgical clarity. And today, April 6th, everything converges for you. The Sagittarius Moon is at peak power, amplifying the hunger that cannot be satisfied by comfort, routine, or small ambitions. This moon doesn't ask what you want, it asks what you were sent here to do. Liz Green describes it as the emotional need for meaning. Not the shallow satisfaction of achievement, but the deep, almost urgent calling of the soul toward purpose. Today, that call is amplified into a dharma activation, the Sanskrit concept of dharma, describing the sacred duty that only you can fulfill. If you felt restless, if clarity has been surfacing in flashes you can't explain, that is the moon's fire opening your vision, aligning your mind and heart toward what you were always meant to receive. The Sun at 16 degrees Aries squares Pluto in Aquarius, a configuration both rare and transformative. Sun square Pluto is the archetypal ego dissolution test. The Sun pushes identity, assertion, and self-expression. Pluto excavates what is false, outdated, or borrowed from collective expectations. Pluto in Aquarius, active from 2023 to 2044, dismantles the structures of identity conditioned by society, technology, or cultural approval, as Richard Tarnas notes in Cosmos and Psyche. These transits historically coincide with radical personal and civilizational evolution. Today, that tension asks you, is your mission truly yours? Or is it the one your conditioning told you to chase? Pluto does not negotiate, it excavates, and what it is excavating right now is the difference between the calling your ego designed and the calling your soul carries. They may not be the same. Today, you find out. Grounding this vision, Venus at 7 degrees Taurus and Mercury at 25 degrees Aries create the rare container for action. Venus in Taurus translates your fire into tangible form beauty, value, material expression. Mercury in light Aries moves fast, cutting through hesitation, demanding clarity and commitment. Together with the Moon and Sun Pluto square, they create a 24-hour window where vision, resonance, grounding, and mental clarity converge. This is not inspiration alone. This is the download, the emotional confirmation, the material container, and the mental commitment arriving simultaneously, ready for you to name, claim, and move. Your mission is not motivation. It is deeply rooted in history, psychology, and spiritual tradition, a truth that has guided humanity across civilizations. Beat or Frankel, in man's search for meaning, survived 4 Nazi concentration camps, and concluded that the single most powerful predictor of survival was meaning, not comfort, not safety, not happiness, but a why. Those who had a why could bear almost any how. Today's transit is a why activation. It stirs that hunger inside you, pointing toward the purpose that has been quietly shaping your inner world all along. Carl Jung called it individuation, the lifelong process of becoming who you actually are, rather than who you were conditioned to be. In the second half of life, he noted, the primary source of suffering is not trauma, but the failure to answer the call of the self, the capitalized self, the totality of your being still waiting to be expressed. Today, the universe is asking you to confront that self, to recognize the parts of you that have been postponed, hidden, or dismissed. Across cultures, the wisdom is consistent. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna distinguishes Spadharma, one's own sacred duty, from paradharma, the path adopted from others, often out of fear or approval seeking. It is better to perform one's own duty imperfectly than another's perfectly, Krishna says. Today's divine mission portal asks exactly that. Is the path you're pursuing truly yours, or a borrowed version designed to please, succeed, or conform? Pluto in Aquarius is not just personal, it is historical. Every time Pluto has transited Aquarius 1777 to 1798, and now 2023 to 2044, civilization has faced collective transformations. Individuals aligned with their mission during these periods found their purpose amplified by the currents of history. Friedrich Buechner called vocation the place where your deep gladness meets the world's deep need. The Sagittarius Moon activates your deep gladness. Pluto in Aquarius names the world's deep need. Today they converge. This is not motivation content. This is not spiritual inspiration. This is a documented, cross-cultural, psychological, and historical activation happening in the universe above you. Whether you acknowledge it or not, it is happening, and it is calling you to recognize the mission your soul has been waiting to receive. If you are feeling it, then you are already receiving the transmission. The universe is not subtle. Today, the Sagittarius Moon at peak power is sending unmistakable signals, and your body, mind, and spirit are aligned to notice them. These are not vague feelings or generic spiritual nudges. These are 6 precise signs that your soul mission is activating. Each one a confirmation that the download is arriving now. Signal 1. A sudden, almost impatient clarity about what is no longer acceptable in your life. Not vague dissatisfaction, but a sharp awareness of situations, relationships, or commitments that drain you without feeding your purpose. Sagittarius does not tolerate stagnation. At peak power, it makes the cost of remaining small physically and emotionally tangible. Signal 2. A vision, idea, or plan you've been circling for months or even years surfaces today with renewed force and clarity. Mercury in late Aries and the Sagittarius Moon convert long-held inspiration into actionable form. If something arrived fully formed this morning, it is not coincidence. It is the download beginning. Signal 3. A sense of inevitability that aligns with Abraham Maslow's self-actualization principle. This is the unmistakable feeling that your mission is both chosen and unavoidable. It is not, I want to do this, but I was built to do this. Signal 4. Physical energy that is unusually high despite normal sleep or activity. Mars-Jupiter energy from April 4th continues to move through the field, and the moon adds fire to the fire. Your body feels the mission before your mind can process it. Signal 5. A confrontation, internal or external, with a belief about yourself that has always felt permanent but now appears false. The Sun-Pluto square excavates the ego story, forcing alignment between your soul's purpose and your current actions. Signal 6. The feeling of being watched, guided, or accompanied, not in fear, but in confirmation. A subtle awareness that the universe itself is affirming the path you've been uncertain about. This is alignment without the fog of self-doubt, a quiet yet undeniable validation. If you recognize these signs, do not ignore them. They are your activation code, the markers that your mission is no longer theoretical. The universe has sent the transmission, and today you are ready to receive it. Pluto does not cooperate with ego. It is precise, unyielding, and unforgiving, but only because it serves a higher purpose. The challenge it brings is not an obstacle, it is the gateway. Today, Pluto in Aquarius is dismantling the missions your ego constructed, careers chosen for status, paths taken for approval, successes designed to impress rather than fulfill. These are not mistakes, they are preparation. The Sun square Pluto is the encounter with shadow, as Liz Green describes in the Astrology of Fate, the conscious identity, the you that negotiates, plans, and defends, must confront the hidden forces shaping your decisions, fears, and false structures. Today, the universe is asking, is your mission genuinely yours, or is it the one your conditioning told you to want? For Aquarius, Pluto targets collective ego structures. For Aries, the performance-driven self. For Sagittarius, the version of the mission shaped by others' approval. For Leo, the theatrical or performative calling. Across signs, the question is the same. Is the purpose you are pursuing the one that makes you feel alive, or the one that feels safe? The answer is rarely the same, and Pluto does not accept compromise. James Hollis, Jungian analyst, reminds us that the most important question is not what do I want, but what wants to live through me. The surrender Pluto demands is not the cost of the mission. It is the mission's first step. It is the initiation into the transmission you've been waiting for. The chosen one who receives today's divine download is not the one who avoids the Pluto challenge. It is the one who walks directly into it, naming the shadows, embracing the friction, and emerging with clarity, fire, and the capacity to carry what was previously unreachable. Pluto is not blocking your path. Pluto is the path. The mission that waits for you today cannot exist without this confrontation. Now let's do a sign by sign. Activation. Starting with Sagittarius, the moon is in your sign at peak power, and today your transmission reaches full signal strength. The divine mission that has been buffering for months is finally arriving, not as a whisper, but as undeniable clarity. The question is not whether you will receive it. You will. The question is whether you trust it enough to act before the familiar voice of practicality talks you back into a smaller version of yourself. Pluto's test for you is the surrender of the version of the mission designed to be understood and approved by those who cannot yet feel its frequency. Your calling was never meant for easy explanation. It was built for those who can hear it, feel it, and walk through it. Stop trying to explain it to people who don't have the ears for it yet. Aries, the sun in your sign approaches the square to Pluto, landing in your identity and purpose sector with surgical precision. Today, the universe excavates the version of your mission constructed to prove worth to a parent, peer, or even your past self. The true mission needs no validation. What you may experience, internal confrontation, external resistance, is not a setback. It is the scaffolding being removed so your authentic purpose can finally stand in its own weight. The message is clear. The mission you were born to express doesn't need permission. It simply needs embodiment. Leo, the Sagittarius Moon lights your 5th house of creative expression. Today, the download activates your joy as mission. Self-expression, creativity, and authentic gifts are not separate from purpose. They are the purpose. Pluto's test asks you to surrender the performance of purpose, the version calibrated for audience approval. Today, your calling arrives less theatrically than anticipated, more real, more raw, that difference between flame and fire. That is the energy of truth, the creative energy that only your soul can carry. Aquarius, Pluto in your sign, squared by the sun in Aries, signals structural transformation at the collective level. The mission activating in your life is not about personal gain, it is systemic. Today, the universe is asking you to surrender the intellectual frameworks that substitute for embodied commitment. You see the vision for humanity, but now you are challenged to stop analyzing and start living it. The question Pluto asks is whether you will move beyond thought into action. The first act of alignment is living your mission fully. The transmission is here, but it requires your participation. The universe has aligned the Sagittarius Moon, Mercury in late Aries, and Venus in Taurus to create a 24-hour portal where vision, clarity, and action converge. To receive what is being transmitted, you must move with honesty, courage, and precision. Step 1. The uncensored write. Take 15 minutes and write without editing in response to this prompt. If I knew it would work and no one whose opinion I value would judge me for it, my real mission is. Mercury and the Sagittarius Moon dissolve the self-censorship that normally blocks clarity. The first words you write, unfiltered, are the transmission itself. Reference Julia Cameron's Morning Pages as evidence that uncensored writing bypasses the ego's gatekeeping. Step 2. The Pluto Audit. Identify one direction, goal, or commitment in your life maintained out of fear, obligation, or convenience rather than alignment. You do not need to quit it today, simply name it honestly. Pluto cannot transform what you refuse to see. The act of acknowledgement begins the process, and transformation follows naturally. Step 3. One sentence of claim. Write one sentence that begins, "My mission is," not a paragraph, not a vision board, just one honest sentence. Mercury in late Aries demands compression. Clarity is the first act of commitment. That single statement carries more power than 10 qualifying clauses. It is the first anchor of your mission in the material world. Today, these 3 steps are your key. They translate the energetic download into reality, aligning your vision, your body, and your mind with your soul's true direction. The universe is not asking for perfection, it is asking for alignment, authenticity, and willingness. Your mission is not personal ambition, it is a response to the age. Pluto entered Aquarius in 2023. The last time this occurred was 1777-1798, a period that produced the American Constitution, the French Revolution, abolition movements, and the first industrial transformation. As Richard Tarnas documents in Cosmos and Psyche, Pluto Aquarius transits consistently coincide with the emergence of individuals whose missions align with genuine civilizational evolution. Today, you are standing in the same current of transformation. The universe is activating missions that are systemic, humanitarian, and aligned with collective intelligence. Aquarius governs technology, societal frameworks, and the evolution of how humans relate to one another at scale. The mission activating in you is not ahead of its time. It is perfectly on time. What you do, claim, and step into today reverberates far beyond your personal sphere. Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world indeed. It is the only thing that ever has." The Sagittarius Moon today activates the specific version of that commitment, that only you carry the version uniquely tuned to your gifts, vision, and frequency. This is your chance to place yourself exactly where the universe intended, at the precise point where individual purpose meets collective evolution. Your mission matters not only because it fulfills your soul's calling, but because it contributes to a movement that has been quietly gathering for centuries. Today, you are both participant and anchor in that unfolding story. April 6th was never just a moon transit. Today, the transmission broke through the moment your mission stopped being a quiet knowing and became an undeniable direction. Every delay, every detour, every moment you spent living someone else's version of your life was not wasted. It was the pressure that made the clarity of today possible. You could not have received this transmission before you were ready. You are ready now. The chosen one does not wait for perfect conditions to begin. They understand that beginning the mission is the condition that makes everything else possible. The fire portal is open. The download has arrived. Your calling is louder than your fear it always was. You can hear it clearly now. Comment, mission, subscribe as a declaration that you are no longer postponing what you were sent here to do. Walk through the portal. Step into the alignment that has been waiting for you.